All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're going to connect two really powerful ideas: the stories we tell ourselves about who we are, and how that story directly shapes our ability to set boundaries with everyone else in our lives.
I mean, really think about it. You know that feeling, right? When you say yes, but every single part of you is screaming no? Or when that little critical voice pops into your head and it sounds an awful lot like someone you used to know? Yeah, if you get that, you're definitely in the right place.
And this is so important, so listen up. If you have ever struggled with people-pleasing, or if setting boundaries feels impossible, the issue is not some deep character flaw. You're not broken. The problem is the script you've been accidentally living by. And the best part? You can totally pick up the pen and become the author. You can rewrite it.
Now, there's a term for this in narrative therapy, and it's a really useful concept. It's called a problem-saturated story. Basically, it's when one negative idea, like "I'm not good enough" or "I'm always too much," just takes over. It becomes the soundtrack to your life, and it colors every single thing you do and decide. So, how in the world do we start the rewrite? Well, it all begins with this incredibly simple but totally profound technique. It's just a tiny shift in your language that honestly can change everything. Look at this. The shift here is from saying "I am something" to "I am affected by it." So instead of "I am broken," you try on "I am affected by a feeling of brokenness." See the difference? This is such a safe and practical way to create a little bit of space. It means the problem is just something that visits you. It's not the house you live in. And that tiny change starts to give you your power back. For settlers, okay, so once we've kind of separated ourselves from the problem, the next step is to find evidence for a brand new story. And here's the secret, the thing almost nobody talks about. That evidence? It's already there. It's just been hidden in plain sight this whole time. They're called unique outcomes, or my personal favorite, sparkling moments. These are all the little exceptions to the negative rule. You know, that one time you actually spoke up in a meeting, or that moment you chose to rest instead of doing one more thing. These aren't just flukes, they're clues. They're breadcrumbs leading you toward the story you'd rather be living. But let's be real. How do you actually find these moments, especially when your brain is trained to just ignore them? Well, there's a brilliant, really structured exercise that can help with exactly that. It's called the Tree of Life exercise. It's a really clear, step-by-step way to map out your own strengths. Your roots, that's your history. Your trunk represents your skills and your values, things like resilience or kindness. The branches are all your hopes for the future. The leaves are the people who support you, and the fruits are the gifts you've gotten from them. It's a really practical method to actually build out your new story, piece by piece, so you can see it. Okay, so now that we've started to strengthen that inner story, let's connect it to the outside world. This is where all that inner work really starts to pay off in your day-to-day life. And this slide just nails the core connection, doesn't it? Of course, setting a boundary feels impossible when your inner story is whispering, "My needs don't matter." But when you've done the work to build a story based on your actual skills and strengths, asking for what you need isn't scary anymore. It's just a logical extension of who you are. So let's get tactical. I'm going to give you a simple, super memorable framework for crafting the exact words you can use in those tough moments. It's called the SAF method. It's a simple, three-part structure. First, S for specify what you need. Be really clear. Second, A for assert yourself confidently without saying, "I'm sorry." And third, F for fairness. This isn't about winning an argument. It's about creating respect for everyone involved. It's a reliable system you can use in any situation. Let's look at it in action. Come on, we all know this one. The family member with tons of unsolicited advice. This script is genius. It validates them. "I appreciate your concern." But then it clearly and calmly states your boundary. Using a line like this makes you come across as incredibly self-assured. Or what about this classic for work? It's polite, it's professional, and it sets a crystal clear expectation without being aggressive at all. You see, it's not a hard no, it's just a "not right now." And this one is so crucial for protecting your own energy. Notice how it leads with connection, "I care deeply," before stating the need. That little move helps preserve the relationship while you're still honoring what you need. And sometimes, you just need something short and powerful. Think of these as your emergency phrases. Keep them in your back pocket. That last one, "I understand you're upset and my nose still stands," is incredibly grounding when you feel like you're about to cave. It validates their feelings without you having to give up your boundary.
Okay, let's bring it all home. Let's look at the incredible transformation that happens when you put this inner and outer work together.
When you boil it all down, it comes back to this simple two-part framework. Step 1, you rewrite your inner story by hunting for those sparkling moments that prove you're more than your problems. And step 2, you use that newfound strength to write and deliver your outer scripts. It's a clear, repeatable strategy for real change.
And really, that's the whole ballgame. Stop being a background character in a story that somebody else wrote for you. You have the power to start being the author. Honestly, people who get this just operate on a completely different level.
But of course, it's not always that easy, is it? What happens when you set that perfect boundary and the other person doesn't like it? That moment of pushback, that internal feeling of, oh no, that's called the wobble moment. And learning how to stand firm through that, well, that's a whole other skill to explore.
If this touched your heart, please subscribe, like, and share it with your family. Save this for more meaningful content ahead.